Just like I was saying in 2018 when they was asking me about Monique and her husband, and I said I don't do my business the way she does business because I don't have a husband. I don't have what she has, right? I'm all alone. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I'm doing this all by myself. I don't have a whole family full of men or a man supporting me. I'm doing it on my own. I'm learning on my own.
Beauty is currency in this society. That's where we get pretty privilege from. That's where my theory of body privilege, which is a privilege that's in the Black community. I want to examine this idea of being pretty or being beautiful and kind of messing up your opportunity. Someone who comes to mind is Chili from TLC. Chili from TLC, who even today, I believe she's in her late 40s, maybe she's 50. She looks amazing. However, she has said that she wanted to be married, she wanted to have more kids. And even until today, I think she is dating someone, but it has taken her years to even get a boyfriend. And she had a reality show some years ago called What Chili Wants. And it was no secret that she has very high standards and very high expectations.
Usually, when you can't find the right man, is something wrong with you? What kind of guy are we looking for?
He has to be gorgeous, sensitive, very charming. He can't drink, he can't smoke, he can't eat pork.
Has she told you the list? Yes. Your standards, they're effed up. It's going to be hard to find this guy, but I'm going to find him. By the way, you have a date on Thursday night. You eat pork?
Yeah, I eat pork.
What?
Yeah, what does I look like? I don't eat pork?
Chili is too damn picky. I'm just going to have to find more guys.
And it's interesting because she's the one that said she wanted the husband. She's the one that said that she wanted more kids, and it never happened. And I'm not saying that it can't happen, but we have to examine why is it that modern women are not getting what they want? Why is it that you can fast forward 15, 20 years? I remember watching What Chili Wants. I'm just estimating that might have been in 2009, 2010. This is 2024. So that's a good, 15 years. Why is it that 15 years later, modern Black women are still not getting the things that they said they want? The goals that they set 15 years ago. Why is it taking so long? And so we have to look at that. If beauty is currency, at what point are you going to maximize your opportunities, with your looks? And the question becomes, did you blow it? We have to be honest about the fact that there is a window in terms of having children, naturally. Now, of course, you can adopt and use a surrogate at any point, but if a modern woman is saying that she wants to have children, and the assumption is she meant that having children biologically and not using a surrogate, not adopting, why is it that it has taken so long? As a modern woman myself, I'm constantly looking at this dynamic, even in my own life. Why, certain things have taken a while. We can say, well, it's God's timing, and, it's taken so long because it just wasn't time before. And that could be true. Or are we messing up? Are we doing something wrong? Marriage came later in my life because it's just God's timing to happen later, in life. But the reality is, are we missing the point of perhaps there were things that we could have corrected that would have gotten us to the goal sooner? And if we are honest about those things, perhaps the younger generation coming up behind us, we can then teach them what to do, what not to do, etc. People have to make their own mistakes. But I also believe in learning from other people's mistakes as well. Vivica Fox has said herself that her biggest regret was not having any children. And Vivica Fox was married some years ago. She didn't marry, she admitted to marrying, what did she say? A 6-pack and a smile. So she admitted to marrying a guy for the wrong reasons, because he was tall, because he was muscular, and he was cute to her. So she has admitted that she messed up with that. But she always talked about her biggest regret being not, never having kids. And Vivica Fox, I don't know, she's, I think, well into her 50s at this point. She later said that that's not true, that her biggest regret actually does not involve anything to do with her never having kids. That was when she sat down with Oprah. She actually said that in a few different interviews, because she has a lot of godchildren. But you have to wonder, how honest is she really being about that? Because if you say something is a really big regret, and then, in the same breath turn around and say, well, it's not really much of a regret. There's a lot of shame attached to women who reach a certain age, like Tracy Ellis Ross, like Sanaa Lathan. A lot of shame around never having any children, of course, never being married, but it's almost like not having a child. It's almost like there's even more shame attached to that. And then we're talking about in the Black community. Like, in the Black community, if you've never been married, it's almost widely accepted. Like, oh, okay. But if you're 50, 55 and you've never even had a child, it's almost like, whoa, So in the Black community, there's definitely a different sentiment, for women who do not have children. And again, if you don't want children, then you're off the hook. If you don't want children, if you're not interested in children or marriage, you're completely off the hook. But I'm talking about for women who have said for years that they wanted a family, they wanted a husband and children, and you look 20, 25 years later and you see this woman is still struggling. What happened? And on this channel, I actually want to examine what happened. Some of you may be a little offended by my content, but this is a place where I think that we should be having these conversations. I don't think we should just brush it off like, oh, well, it was just God's timing. Maybe that's true, but maybe there's something that woman didn't do. And let's figure out what those things are that she didn't do. And let's start doing them so that we won't keep repeating the cycle. Because the reality is, getting married in your 40s, it makes it harder to have children. You could have children in your 40s, but it's not the same as trying to have a child in your 20s or even in your 30s. So let's be honest about that. And so the title of, you were beautiful and you blew it, exemplifies this concept of, pretty privilege or beauty as currency. Should we, in our youth, be giving ourselves the best chance at trying to get the things that we want? And I think, this is my theory, that modern women spend a lot of time making mistakes, spend a lot of time dating the wrong guys, the wrong men, the boys, spend a lot of time not understanding men, spend a lot of time, just waste a lot of time. And shout out to Dr. Thunder, because I heard him say this on his channel, with Black women, because we tend to look younger when we're a little older, we tend to waste even more time, because we could be 30 or 35 looking like we're 22. We could be 40 looking like we're 32. And that, I think, creates kind of like this psychological dissonance, this cognitive dissonance, where we're not really fully aware that, yeah, we actually don't have as much time as we think we have. So, comment below, let me know what you think about this. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Click the links in the description box and get to know my business, Curated Legacy LLC. Join the Black and Invisible YouTube membership group, $10 a month. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.